Paul, based the pretense of his religion on the notion that seed was singular in spite of zera's plural connotations. As evidence of this, seed is extrapolated and translated as offspring, descendants, posterity, and children in this passage, all of which are many and thus plural. And yet, foolishly claiming otherwise, Paul postulated that the Torah could all be ignored because Jesus Christ was the promised seed, singular, of Abraham. If that was so, why didn't God say so? So in his twisted mind, nothing mattered between Abraham and the birth of his mystical misnomer, the very Jesus that he had conspired to create through false cloth. With the conception of his fable, the actual lives of Yishak, of Jacob, his 12 sons and their descendants, the children of Israel were all rendered moot. Why God, under this scenario, told us so much about them, of course, was never explained. Therefore, to believe that Paul told the truth, everything that God had to say from Genesis to Malachi, should be ignored by Christians who were told to put their faith in his assessment of that single seed. Seems incredulous, especially since it was one man's unfounded opinion, completely wrong and unjustified against God's stated position. Paul would even go as far as to misappropriate citations from the prophets that he was invalidating by holding his case, building it entirely on meritless distinctions. Throughout Paul's justification for his, but I, Paul, say, his evangelion, the gospel of Paul, was to cite quotations from the prophets and the Torah that he was annulling. So let's just say he cited them for a moment accurately and completely and in context to reveal what they actually said. To use a citation from a prophet whom you're acknowledging your God inspired to annul what your God said is, well, they have a word for that, but he misquoted it. Every time he tried to draw a citation from something God had said, he always plucked it out of context. He always misrepresented the text itself, changed it, and then drew the opposite conclusion that God had actually made.